Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21 Stage Racer. We're on episode 24. It's the World Championships. My +4s, no accident. I should have had a +3 today, so my draw was actually just a +1. And I'm looking in excellent shape to compete, anyway, for a high-end finish. Now, looking at my sprint capability, just a 56, even with a +2, it's a 58. And that it is going to ultimately be a sprint finish on this one. I'm probably not going to actually compete to win, but with the climbing profile, the steep climb that we're going to hit, what is that, 3, 6, 7 times? It's going to blow up the field, and it is ultimately going to come down to some sort of small group finish. I just doubt that it's going to be solo. And so, could I be in the final 10 riders at the end of this thing? Well, based on an 84 mountain and 82 resistance today, yeah, I think that is perfectly reasonable. Now, one thing that is going to hurt me a little bit, but thanks to that +4 race day condition, isn't going to be as bad. I have a 72 stamina, which is very relevant, as this is roughly 250 kilometers in length. And this, well, it's the World Championships. Where are we this time? It's, well, somewhere. I know the name, but placing it geographically, it's not that big of a name. I should know it, and I'm sure most Europeans are like, duh, it's obvious. Not for me, sorry. So I'm doing a little bit of guessing. I was hoping for team leader status, but what they've given me is objective to finish in the top 50, to join a late breakaway, 80 kilometers. That could be something, but I don't think they're necessarily going to let me attack like that. But maybe. I'm definitely outside of the top 10 favorites, so you never know. You never know. Right now, breakaway failing to succeed in establishing a break. One rider off the back who I think might have been caught up in either a crash or a puncture, and they're stuck behind. And all of these attacks could blow them up, but it looks like they've regained contact. So everyone's still in contention at the moment. That's 154 riders. 154 riders looking at taking the rainbow bands. And I absolutely could compete here for something pretty big. There's Donovan, there's Toynes. Who is that? Chavez, Esteban Chavez putting work in. I mean, that's some big names working out at the front. I've got a good team around me, but I don't get to be leader. So, Barta is more of a time trialist. Obviously, that's, I think, why he's been involved trying to get in the early breakaway. We do finally have 3 riders in the breakaway, and those three are Bob Jungels to be the most famous of those 3. Dombrowski is an okay climber. Tolman, Craddock, they're all decent climbers. But then, of course, the cream and crop of the U.S., Sepp Kuss, Nielsen Paulus, Brandon McNulty. Incredibly surprised to see that Kuss is the lower of the 3 in terms of ratings. A few years back, you would have thought McNulty and Paulus would be the top 2 guys in the U.S. as they develop. But then seeing what Kuss has done the last couple seasons with Jumbo-Visma, he looks to me to be the strongest in the U.S. right now by some margin. Those 2 are still the next 2 on that list, but yeah, I think Kuss should have the highest rating. I mean, Kuss should have a rating like I have. 80 Mountain? I think that sounds about right, because he's been there. Vuelta, last year's Tour de France, great examples of just putting in workhorse yeoman-like work at the front in big climbing stages, and then still being there in the last 6, 7 riders duking it out for the win. Well, anyway, it's Paulus who's putting the work in right now. He's on a -3, so that actually makes a lot of sense, but he is getting water and should be up here soon as we begin the first climb of the day. This is the one and only time that we climb this hill, though. Gap sitting at 4.5 minutes to those front three. That's not much of a threat, especially for just 3 riders. I think we'll bring them back pretty quickly. Now, my goal was the whole 80K attack thing or finish in the top 50. Both would be nice, but I don't necessarily want to attack at 85K to go and go get that full evaluation. But we'll see how things go. I mean, if there's an attack, maybe I follow. I certainly have the climbing legs to finish well. But here we go. First time on the climb here in just a moment. And it's a big one. Already 9%. 12%. Hovering over 10. Almost entirely over 10. We haven't topped that 12. We haven't gone past it. 15 there. Oof. Come around that little switchback and it hits 15 for just a moment. That's steep. And after that, it does ease off a little bit, but you're still looking at 8 to 10 throughout. And then you hit the top and it gets real steep again right before the top. But yeah, maxing out at 15. And most of it between about 10 and 12. And the less steep sector, it was still over 6, 7. So it's never an easy climb. That's a hard climb throughout. And look how short that lap is coming around as we go and hit it again. 111K to go. Gap 4 minutes, so we're not chasing too hard yet, but we're definitely beginning to pick up the pace. You can see the climbing legs starting to feel things. Even I feel it just a little bit, but I'm 140 on the heart rate for the most part. So for me, no big deal. I'm already recovered. I'm still almost 100% on my yellow bar from where we started. So looking real good there. McNulty is. So McNulty with a +3. He's got the better recovery. Koos, Tolman both looking really good. Dombrowski, you can see he's feeling it a little bit more. Everybody's just about recovered before we start climb number 3 of the day. And the gap has come down rapidly. Now down to 2.5 minutes. We got 20 riders who got dropped off there. Now it's going to pick up. Now it's going to get harder. My 75 is enough. So we're still not climbing fast, but my 75 is enough to hold position. I'm hoping if I get a couple riders dropped that I might suddenly gain leader status and get a little team support, get somebody offering me protection. That would be awesome. At the moment we have 24 in the peloton, but that's coming back together. So we're seeing splits over the top of the climb. Road's just skinny enough. I could see splits that are going to be permanent. We're down to 116 now. Also down to 2 riders in the break. Down to 2 minutes to those guys. So one of them got dropped and we already pulled him back. Pace is starting to pick up. Let's take it to a 77. There's that attack that would have been my time. I mean, you look at it, 73K to go. 5 riders at the front. McNulty has gone clear. So he did what I was thinking about maybe doing. And that is halfway through the climbs. Halfway through. Just 3 left now. Peloton splits. Yo-yoing so much. Looks like at most we're at 85. And as we've kind of reached the base, yes. 85 is the mark. I'm almost back to 100%. Of course, that yellow bar is slowly thinning out a little bit, but I'm very much looking the strongest of all the Americans as we go to begin the next climb. We're going to slow it down a little bit. ×2 speed now. 83 riders. 3 times to go on the climbing. It's McNulty who now leads the race, but he just does not have the energy to carry on after this. This is a bit too intense. We're at 112 now, so it is coming back together a little bit. Did we lift the pace a little? Is this the time to kind of go clear and go jump, bridge the gap to those front 5? Are they going to pull away? They've opened it up by 30 seconds. Pace did lift. Pace definitely lifted. But we're down to 68 riders. I can see why the pace lifted. It was a little too intense and most riders just couldn't hack it. They couldn't stay with it.
We're into the downhill section. The riders can take a
Hey, 67, 33, ooh, under 40. I'd love to see that hold. Under 40, because that's already given me a top 50. Not that I have had any doubt that we could manage a top 50. 46K to go. Thinking about the overall, not about attacking. Okay, now we've settled on 58 riders in the peloton with a few regaining contact, but you think with this big effort coming in just a moment that it's going to probably get us down into the final 20 or so after this next climb. So we're going to have to be, I'm struggling to keep up on the flat, but of course my flat rating is a 68. Gap's back down to a minute, so we are catching back up to McNulty and crew up there. 4 riders left off the front, but you've got David Formulo being brought back in right now. But Rigoberto Uran, Van Wilder working for Team Columbia, for Bernal, who's favorite today. Marouet, Bardet, Guillaume Martin putting all the work in. Dang, that is some really strong riders. And look how tired those guys all are. Look how tired they are. This is the time. This is the time. Let's see what happens. Just a minor attack. Minor attack. Okay, we've gone clear. We're bridging the gap. Okay. Group of 5. Shockman went with me. Group of 7. Follow Shockman. Okay, follow Hershey. Come on, there you go. Down to 5. Kelderman, Shockman, Bernal. This could be your top 5 for this race. This could absolutely be the top 5 for the race. We've opened up a 40-second gap. A peloton of 27 is chasing us. We dropped 1 rider. So Bernal, Hershey, Shockman, myself, and look how strong I am compared to these guys right now. They're huffing and puffing. We got 2 chasing, Roglic and Kodu, as we go over the top. 1 climb left. They've got to keep working with me, though. I would rather take 4th place right now than give up the win. Though, if Roglic, a top 6 could be pretty good, and then we'd have a chance at holding off. But it's only 12 seconds to their chase group. In fact, they're about to get reeled in. And they are. 17 chasing 4. I'd much rather be in the 4 as we approach the end on this one. Bernal now doing all the work. Shockman and Hershey just sitting on. 25k to go. This is still some distance to cover, and it's back together. Sit up, down to 22. Not my job, folks. Not my job. Somebody needs to work. Hamilton does de plus. Okay, we got 2 riders putting the work in, but they are not exactly pushing right now. Down to a minute 12. Recovery ongoing. 22k to go. I need to attack the climb again. Vlasov picking up the pace. Shockman, Moss responding. That's going to do it on my recovery. The attacks are good, though. I don't want us sitting up because behind us, riders could get back on. Right now we're looking at a top 25, 19k to go. Gel, I want to attack on this climb and go with whatever move. Vlasov, again, attacking on the flat, which makes no sense, but okay. Okay, coming up 18k. Okay, we can use the sneak and attack. I'm not the only one attacking. Hamilton, go do. Oh, I'm blocked off. It's 9 riders now. No, it's back together. It's back together. Easy, easy. Oh, no, not what I was trying to do. I was trying to attack there. It's done it again. Awesome. Thanks, game. Thanks. Down to 16, by the way. Follow Roglic. Follow Shockman. We don't have the red bar left. We do not have the red bar left, so at this point, it's a group of 7. And we got to just try to hang on with these guys as we approach the top of the climb. I've got some yellow bar. We're now at 8 riders. But I'm not going to have anything left after the climb. 99. Try to keep up. There goes the top 7. We're now fighting for 8th. No, we're now fighting for a top 10 with 14 riders left in contention. We'll get a little bit of recovery as we go over the top. We're still in the group. We still have a chance, but I'm not a sprinter. So good luck to me on that part. Oh, and we see a little split actually right here with me. It's 3 chasing 11. Recovery on. We could use the arrow. No, we're okay. We're okay. If I had energy, I would use the arrow and try to attack and get off the front, but we got 10K to go, and I'm not that good on the flat, but we are recovering. 15 riders now, 16 riders. That's not good. I'm not a good sprinter. I have some acceleration, though. I have some resistance. We'll see if that can get us going somewhere. Oh, pause. I'm trying to respond, and I'm a little too far back here. We're seeing this big movement. We're seeing multiple splits, and I'm behind. Let's follow Ciccone. Five chasing 8. Oh, and the gap's opening. Landa can't pull it back. Landa's costing us everything right now. Do I need to attack these guys? Can I follow Yates? Follow Yates. Yates is moving on. There you go. Still have a chance. Got a couple riders working at the front. 2.6K, and I'm struggling to keep up here. I have no sprint capability now. Now it's just trying to get to the line and maybe squeeze out a top 10, but it's looking more likely of 12th or 13th as, yep, there you go. Energy's totally gone. Come on, can we get top 10? This is so close. Roglic takes the win. Of course he can out-sprint these guys. Shockman, Godou, top 3. Hershey, Bernal, it's outside the top 10. Ciccone grabs 10th. We're going to be 12th. Still, excellent result for a super young rider. All around me are much more experienced riders than Sevenant, with him being the only exception. So he and I, the only young riders working our way up the order. Everybody else across the entire top 17 that have crossed the line thus far, none of them are young riders. None. So these are all experienced veterans that we got in and amongst. I knew when it came down to a sprint, we were going to be in trouble. I knew when it came down to you come off that final hill, we were going to be near the back of the group. We just don't have the sprint. We were never going to beat out the group, and we don't have the flat rating either. So it was going to come down to the smallest group we could be a part of over the top, but we didn't have the energy to push on, and we were just lucky to still be in that group and be in contention for 12th place. Of course, you know, national-wise, 25th was McNulty, and so we were much better off than anybody else from the U.S., but still, that's the kind of profile you would want us to be in. Of course, mountaintop finish is better, but that's an okay result, all things considered. That's actually a pretty decent result. 2 positions higher, top 10, would have made a lot of difference in terms of how much experience we gained from this, but it's still going to be really good because the expectation was top 50. There you go. We get exceptional on the evaluation there. We did get 10K at the front with the final push there in the final 30K. We pick up 42 points. We're also nearing the end of a month, so we are on the verge of another level up. Now, what is our next race? It is into the month of October. So let's go ahead and proceed, finish up the month, take that level up, and see where we're at. Turn of the month, and there it is. We have leveled up. We hit lucky level 13. Skill point, access to World Tour races, Grand Tours, and Majors. So we are now available to do any race. We've unlocked all races, but that is not an attribute improvement level. We need to wait for level 14 for that next one. So we get skill point and attributes on the next level. We do get a skill point now, though. So let's see where we're at. We do have one more in technique. Of course, stealth and super leader are still available. Let's go ahead and get the last technique level out of the way. And there you have it. We've hit level 13. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.